What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and I'm just doing a short preview for this Manchester City game because it's going to be a difficult one. I think Everton playing Fulham and not carrying the confidence into this game, and I know Carlos said today that against the big teams we're better, and we are, like 100% we are better. It's something I've alluded to because we set up different. We play the four centre-halves at the back, for example. We have played Luca Dean in there, and look, I have made my comments very clear regarding what I think we should do, so I'm not going to keep going over it. So I'll just go into my team. I play Olsen in goal. I have no idea why people want Pickford back, to be honest. I don't think Olsen's done too much wrong. I think he was left completely exposed against Fulham. I think the defence were an absolute shambles. I think Luca Dean's positioning, certainly in the pictures I've seen and the graphs of his position, was absolutely appalling. I think Seamus Coleman was awful. He got absolutely tore apart by Lookman. Holgate had a shocker. Godfrey turned away for the wrong ball, but look, Godfrey's made, apart from his debut, where we could see he's not a right back, he made literally one mistake in his last God knows how many games. So trust me, Godfrey's the least of our worries. I mean, Godfrey for me is like Everton player of the season. So yeah, I'll go with Godfrey at left back, Mina Keane and Holgate at right back. My midfield is Luca Dean, Allen and Doucouré. Very, very harsh on Tom Davies, I know. Tom Davies was subbed wrongly, in my opinion, against Fulham. In my opinion, it was a shocking call, because what it kind of meant was that the players that we've got, for example, Sigurdsson, Gomez, Rodriguez, none of them offer what Tom Davies offer in terms of energy. They're all better footballers than Tom Davies, but they haven't got the same energy Tom Davies has got. And trust me, against Fulham, where they've got double-decker Reed and Adamola Stroppy Lookman on the other side, and Reed pinging balls everywhere, and Loftus-Cheek being able to carry the ball left, right and centre against anyone with the physical dominance and pace and energy that he had. It was obvious we needed two energetic players in the middle of the park, and when he took one off, I was stunned. If you watched the watch along, you saw my reaction. I was absolutely perplexed by that situation. However, look, Carlo Ancelotti is by far the best manager Everton have had in certainly my lifetime. Obviously, a lot of you guys have saw Howard Kendall as a manager, and he doesn't compare. But there's no doubt Carlo has got a plan, a long-term vision, and we can see that in his results against the big teams. Spurs away and at home this season. Manchester United at Old Trafford. Liverpool at Goodison. Leicester at home. Leicester away. Everton have been so much more better against the bigger teams that we should have some real confidence going into this game. I just don't think that Fulham result helped. I really, really don't. We are going up against, in my opinion, the best team in Europe based on current form. I think it's 16 games they've won on a bounce. This is a team that are fantastic in every department we've seen. They barely concede goals. Their centre-backs can play football. Cancelo has been unbelievable for them. He plays everywhere. They've got the pace on the wings. They've got the quality in the middle. Foden, whether it be him just getting the ball and passing it on, whether it be, Kevin De Bruyne, or even Gundogan. He scored 11 goals this season. Absolutely unbelievable. Bearing in mind, Aguero's been injured and they barely play Jesus. So, look, this is a huge game for Everton, because this is one of the opportunities we had to keep pushing on. And, if you would have said to me after 23 games, Everton would have 38 points or 40 points, I probably would have took that. But when you actually put it in perspective that Everton have only lost 2 away from home, we've got, I think it's the 3rd best away record in the league, but we're 15th at home in terms of league form. having only picked up 11 points, I wouldn't have believed you at the start of the season. I wouldn't have believed you, because I wouldn't have necessarily thought we'd go to Spurs and we'd win, or we'd get a point away at Old Trafford, or we'd beat Leicester 2-0. So the results that we've won away have sort of contradicted the results that we've had at home. And sort of, if you even it up, Everton are probably roughly where we are in the league. And imagine if we had that home form. Imagine if we simply had beaten two of the teams that we've lost to in terms of Leeds, West Ham, Newcastle or Fulham. They're the two worst for me, Newcastle and Fulham. Leeds are a good side. West Ham are in the top 5 or 6 for a reason. Moyes has got them playing really good football, and he's doing what he did at Everton, at West Ham. That's what I've always thought. David Moyes was a good football manager. Doesn't play good football. It's at times awful football, but he gets a team like West Ham. He gets them. And he'll get them working hard, and he'll get the players that he thinks are a luxury player to put more of a shift in, and he's done a good job there. So do I expect Everton to finish above West Ham? Absolutely, I do. Yeah, but these are the games we've got to win to do it. Man City at home, Villa away are our 2 games in hand, and we wouldn't necessarily have to worry about these so much if we'd have beaten at least 2 of the teams that we've lost to. And you put it in further perspective, we've lost to Southampton away, we've lost to Newcastle. So you're telling me the Premier League games we've lost this season have all been against teams that, no disrespect, on paper, Everton would get some results from. It's disappointing. When you say Newcastle twice, Leeds once, West Ham once, Fulham once, you sort of sit there and you think, Jesus, that's really bad. But we're more than good enough to put in a shift against City, and we should have the optimism. We should be, because, as I said to you before, when we get the ball in midfield, we can ping them passes. We've seen it. We saw it the other week. We saw it against Manchester United. We were seeing that pass over the top, and Richarlison was running onto it. Calvert-Lewin was making good runs, but obviously Lewin's not in this game, which is a huge blow. So that's what cost us against Fulham, and I've just gone on a tangent. So yeah, goalkeeper Wilson. 4 is, as I say, Godfrey, Mina, Keane and Holgate. Middle 3, Luca Dean, because he can play that ball, and he's got more energy than any of the other players that we've just mentioned, Gomez, Sigurdsson and James. Allen and Decore. And I'll go with Richarlison, Josh King and Iwobi as my front 3, because I use their pace, I use their ball carrying ability, and I hit Man City on the break. I let Man City have the ball, I let them try and push us back, and I'll play that ball into Luca Dean and straight over the top to any of those 3 players, because trust me, we will hurt Man City that way. And it's the way, in my opinion, we should set up every game. And again, I know people disagree and they say, Mike, you can't tell me Luca Dean's the best left-back in the league and you're not even going to play him left-back, etc., etc., etc. But the facts are, look at Luca Dean's position against Fulham. He's literally on the left-hand side of midfield. He's not in defence. That gap completely unsettled the back 4, because essentially we were playing a back 3. It was Carlo's fault. It was Carlo's fault. He pushed Luca Dean far too high. Now, whether that was Luca Dean maybe staying there too long, maybe it weren't him tracking back, whatever. The facts are, Carlo set that team up against Fulham wrong, in my opinion. I'm not on £13 million a year. I don't get to make that decision. But, in my opinion, it was wrong. And this is a game where, going into the derby, we can get our confidence back. We can go in, we can be solid, we can maybe grind out a 1-1, maybe win 1-0, and go into the derby with real confidence, knowing we've got really good away form. Liverpool aren't great at home, having lost to Burnley and getting points against West Brom. Everton can go there and cause them some significant problems if we set up right. And this is a great tester for it beforehand. You know, some people said to me, you know, you're playing arguably the champions this season and the champions from last season in the next 2 games. And there was a reporter that said it earlier, where will Everton stand? Everton will do great. Everton won't not put a shift in. They'll work hard. And if we do lose, it'll be by an odd goal. And there'll be nothing to lose credit for. There'll be nothing to deface us. The facts are, though, this Man City game is a game in hand. And it's a game that Everton should be aiming to get a result out of, as difficult as it is. Another thing I want to say is I haven't done a match preview with any Manchester City fan channels, and I won't. I refuse, point blank. There's a couple of Man City fan channels I've got a lot of time for. Some I haven't. End of story. I think the criticism Everton got over the situation last time was an absolute joke. It's certainly just simply asking for clarity. It was an absolute shambles. And, you know, I'm not arsed about Man City fan channels. There's somebody on the Big Six that I've got a lot of time for. He's known as Big Steve. I added him on Twitter and he didn't add me back. So it's one of them. He wouldn't have known that I wanted him to come on. So, you know, no issues there. But I really hope we do, Man City. Like, from a personal perspective, from an Everton perspective, I hope we absolutely annihilate them. I just don't think we will. You know, this is a team that are going to win the league. They are the best team in the league. And Everton have just come off the back of losing to a team that's been sat in the relegation zone for the entire season, with me absolutely losing my fruit and barley over it. So I think we lose 1-0. I think it's a good performance by Everton. I think they just crack us open eventually. I could see it being a late winner, 85th minute, Man City, huff and puff, and eventually they blow the house down, and that's one of them. But do I think we can get a result? Yeah, 100%. I think we can go in there, we can have confidence, and we can win 1-0. I'm just reluctant to say that we will. So, guys, look, I'm leaving it there. Have a glorious evening. I shall see you soon. I'll see you for the watch-along tomorrow. Again, tough one. And, yeah, peace.